The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission's proposal for a Florida black bear hunt moved closer to reality today. They first directed staff in December to look at options for a 2025 hunt. News 13's Grace Velez has been following the story since December. She tells us that today the proposal grew to allow the use of dogs while hunting, baiting, and a number of other changes.
Public scrutiny of FWC commissioners grew during Wednesday's discussion over a state-sanctioned bear hunt.
You are financially benefiting from not having bears in areas that you would like to develop or that you've already developed. I oppose the 2025 bear hunt. I oppose the use of dogs, baits, bows, and feeding stations. I urge for FWC reform because it's not right, and you know it's not right.
Despite hundreds of other public comments opposing the 2025 Florida black bear hunt to control population, commissioners voted 4-1 to approve every aspect the majority of the audience opposed.
One thing, Grace, that I found interesting, because I counted the number of comments, for and against. And I counted 46 comments for the hunt, 121 opposed the hunt. And that works out to a little over 74% opposing, 25% roughly for the hunt.
Those numbers don't include the online commenting. Many drove hours to attend the meeting, including the founder of the Alaqua Animal Refuge in Freeport.
Floridians believe that FWC exists to protect our wild Florida, but this proposal does the opposite. It sends a message to our children that it's acceptable to use inhumane methods in the name of sport. We're teaching them that respect for life is conditional, that wild animals are expendable when inconvenient. The world is watching. Please don't bring back the bear hunt. Florida is better than this.
The majority of comments focused on what was called outdated and incomplete science supporting the need for a hunt. Staff admitted studies for the Apalachicola East Panhandle Bear Management Unit and other BMUs are not complete, but feel the most recent population estimates still warrant a hunt.
We've collected the information for 3 of the 7 BMUs. One will be collecting this summer. That's Apalachicola East Panhandle. That's a big population. And the 2 remaining ones will be collected over the next 2 years.
Since the 1970s, the black bear population has grown from a few hundred to more than 4,000. FWC officials cite the growth as one of their most successful conservation efforts. But opposers don't believe killing is conserving. Some argued against the use of dogs and allowing spectators to watch.
I adamantly oppose the use of dogs at any time, now or in the future, to pursue bears.
The dog is valuable in finding the wounded animal. However, surrounded by hunters, I've seen my share of cruelty to dogs as well as their prey.
10 hunters and dogs chasing 1 bear is just a slaughter. 89% of Floridians oppose that method. 86% oppose baiting. Baiting is actually the opposite of what you've been educating people to do.
Declaring unjustified slaughter with baiting ferocious dogs, tearing live animals limb by limb, separating cubs from their moms, thereby tormenting this thrill for the kill. Gentlemen, your position is to protect our native wildlife and the environment that is their home. Conservation is not killing. Gentlemen, do your jobs.
The commissioners did not respond to the public comments about the use of dogs before voting to add it to what they're calling a highly regulated proposal. However, 2 commissioners did question the humaneness of killing bears at feeding stations and baiting. But staff claims this would allow hunters to better identify the species and gender of the bear to prevent killing lactating mother bears, which happened during the 2015 hunt. Commissioner Stephen Hudson was the sole opposer in the vote. Chuck O'Neill played a pivotal role in the No on 2 campaign and predicted this would happen back in November.
We said, hey, this is all about bear hunting. They're trying to bring back bear hunting. They've been trying for 10 years. They want to bring back bear. No, it's not about bear hunting. But what about this thing about using traditional methods? No, that's not really any of your concern. Just forget about that. And then what about this thing that says that hunting is going to be the primary means of managing a population? No, this is really about some initiative back in Oregon to make hunting illegal, and we want to make sure that doesn't happen here. So everything that we said, the dangers of the wording of Amendment 2 has come to pass.
While a heavy focus was on the abortion and marijuana amendments, many failed to closely examine Amendment 2, which protects hunting and fishing rights. While the room was packed with the majority opposing, there were still around 25% in favor. Many of those supporters in the audience were wearing hunter orange. Some commented on how bear skins would make nice rugs. Others commented opponents shouldn't have a say since they're not stakeholders in the hunting community. Many members of the Florida State Dog Hunters Association were there, hoping to grab one of the randomly assigned licenses for a December bear hunt if approved. Grace Velez, News 13, Panhandle Strong.
Commissioners will vote on the final proposal during their August meeting. If approved, the changes would take effect for the 2025-2026 hunting season. There's also talk of an annual bear hunt.